Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, comrades of all kinds, thank you for joining me no matter where you're at across country around this big, beautiful globe. And there it is, folks. There it is. And that's exactly why I tell you every single time I speak to you, stop rallying around these losers. Stop giving them your money and stop giving them your time and attention. You gotta stop. You gotta stop. If you don't stop, they're going to keep doing this shit. Okay? It's going to happen until the end of time. So stop rallying around podcasters and politicians and shit posters like George Galloway and start rallying around the workers, tenants, and students. Trust the process. What's the process? Arm? Yeah, that sort of arm. Train? Yeah, that sort of train. Educate and organize / unionize workers, tenants, and students internationally. Get some fucking edge to your movement. Be more militant. You have to move on institutions together. Whenever somebody talks about organizing, they're very vague. Have you ever noticed that? I'm not. I'm not vague about it. I'm not talking about a rally. I'm not talking about a march. I'm not talking about a protest. I'm talking about taking over every space we own. Taking back what is rightfully ours, the workplaces, the living spaces, and the learning spaces. They are ours. Student unions for the learning spaces, the tenant unions for the living spaces, the labor unions for the workplaces. And by the way, they all help each other with each. They don't just go off on their own. No, they form like Voltron and move on institutions together. Can't get that out of George Galloway. He's too cowardly. He's too cowardly. The fucking fedora hat is too tight, and so is the tie. It's cutting off circulation. I'm going to read to you what this idiot said, and then we're going to go from there. He says, Elon Musk has many faults, understatement of the century, and has made many mistakes. Well, I guess that's actually the understatement of the century. The accusation that on the world's biggest stage yesterday he did 3 Hitler salutes is absurd and cheapens the currency around real fascists and Nazis. Why? Because that's what he actually did? Anybody who's going to sit here and fucking lie to your face about the shit ain't worth the time, buddy. They are not worth the time and energy. He sat there and did a Nazi salute. He knew what he was doing. He knows what he's doing on Twitter. He knows that he's putting all the Nazis at the top of the algorithm. What, George, you thought it was a fucking coincidence? You thought it was serendipity, you fucking idiot? Not a chance, dude. Not a chance. And of course, people are dragging him for this. They're absolutely roasting them. Elon Musk is a union buster through and through. Union bust at Tesla, union bust at Twitter, union bust at freaking SpaceX, he union busts everywhere. He talks about cooing who we want, actively trying to overthrow the governments of Bolivia, Venezuela, Nicaragua, Cuba. Some lefty. Some lefty you are, George Galloway. Bending at both knees you are, pal. So he's one of these weaklings. He has to respond to everything. He says a fantastic number of liberals on here scandalized by Musk's spasm, who spent the last year silence or worse on actual fascists slaughtering people in Gaza and the Ukraine. Tell me what Elon Musk thinks about the slaughter in Gaza. How about that Starlink? Who's he letting use that? Nazis in Ukraine. We got you dead to rights, motherfucker. There's no weaseling out of this, George. You're a fool for even trying. Socialism or barbarism responds, come off it. He carried away, dropped his guard, and revealed, he got carried away, dropped his guard, and revealed his true character. Even if he didn't mean it, or it wasn't an actual Nazi salute, doesn't detract from the fact that he is a fucking Nazi, and time will prove that salute true. Love it. Talks to So O'Grady says, spasm? I regularly experience spasms, and not once have they resulted in such actions. He spasmed into a Nazi salute. So was it a mistake or was it a spasm? Because now you've said 2 different things. What a fucking loser, dude. Tariq Cyril Amar says, just so you know, I am A, so not a liberal, B, have been writing and screaming my head off about the Western Israeli genocide, so much so I may need a lawyer soon. Well, you might actually. That's funny. And C, Musk gave an effing fascist salute and clearly, deliberately. So let's keep the rhetorical tricks out of this, shall we? And somebody tries posting a couple pictures of certain liberals, moderates, and conservatives raising their hand and waving to people. And every time we ask for the video, what do? You already know the answer. Every time we ask for a video, what do? It's fucking crickets and tumbleweeds, buddy. That's all that's left for them. Crickets and tumbleweeds. Because if they show you the video, you see someone's just waving at somebody. But when you see Musk repeat the Nazi salute multiple times, you know what it is. He's making sure you understand, pal. I mean, what a loser, dude. What an absolute loser. I'm a member of your party. I'm no liberal. I've had a death threat on this platform for speaking out against Zionist genocide. I'm still regularly receiving insults. Just so I'm clear, my granddad gave his life in 1943 fighting against Nazism. I was horrified by what Elon just did. What they used to say? either you die young or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I don't know if that's totally true, but in politics it seems to be something that's much more of an axiom, right? I mean, give these people some tissues. You're crying about being called out for a Nazi salute? What's wrong? We're not politically correct enough for you? Oh, we're woke. When somebody like George Galloway calls you woke, they mean you're not politically correct enough. When he says, oh, it's just a CRT or DEI hire, it means they're not politically correct enough. Do not be fooled. Do not comply with the right-wing PC police, of which this copper is clearly joined. I'm going to leave it at that. You know what's up.